Hello and welcome to the Tennessee Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. And if it's meant for a specific institution, just make sure to use the name of the school in your question so they know it's directed at them. Your cameras and microphones are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Be sure to sign up for additional sessions where you signed up for this one. And this presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week, again, at the same website where you registered for this session. We are in session B3, which is on the center right part of the screen that I'm sharing right now. So those are the 6 schools that are scheduled to present in the order that they will present this evening. So I've gotten all the housekeeping stuff out of the way, so I will step out of the way and turn it over to our first presenter, Auburn University.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. As I am in the process of sharing my screen, I'll introduce myself. My name is Katie Morgan. I am really grateful to be here with all of you as your admissions advisor, and I want to hop right into it. So we are, in terms of situated geographically, in East Central Alabama. We're about 6 hours in terms of a drive away from Memphis, and in terms of a triangle geographically, we are about 2 hours south of Birmingham, 2 hours south of Atlanta in the opposite direction, so bigger cities, and about 3.5 hours north of the coastline, which, other than hurricane season, is a pretty good place to be. So we are a smaller city, I would say, about 70,000 residents. You can see this blurb here is basically saying folks want to come to school here, they want to raise their families here, they want to retire here. People just love being in Auburn, and once students get here, I think they try to find a way to stay, and I was just one of those people. For those of you that haven't been to campus yet, I hope that this panoramic view gives you a good idea at least of what a big part of our campus looks like. So it's definitely green, lots of green space, really walking friendly. I'm not going to test you on any of these buildings because I know they probably all look the same. They're all brick buildings, but you're looking at a lot of academic buildings, housing options. Things behind us that you can't see are the athletic part of campus primarily, as well as a housing option. But this, I hope, gives you a good idea of campus itself. We're about 30,000 students total, so pretty big institution in a relatively small town. So I think that lends itself to some balance. You'll also learn more about our opportunities on campus in just a second, but from some other numbers perspectives, we're about 25,000 undergraduate students, about 4,800 incoming freshmen each year, and we're about 60% in-state to 40% out-of-state, in Tennessee is in our one of our top 5 out-of-state states. So oftentimes the entry point for students when it comes to Auburn are things like the College of Engineering and the College of Business, and that is understandable, or even football. Hopefully it wasn't last Saturday, but that's often entry points for students, and that's understandable, but I want to give you perhaps some more perspective. So I'm going to start off with a little history lesson. For those of you that aren't familiar, we were founded originally as a land grant institution. That essentially means we're founded way back in the early 1800s to better serve the state of Alabama. We're state of Alabama's first land grant, and oftentimes that meant College of Agriculture, College of Engineering, mechanical and agriculture majors. So we're known for that. You can see in the upper left-hand corner, that building looks exactly the same. The only difference is that there are cars where there once were cows. The bottom left picture shows you kind of a good before and after of our downtown area. And in terms of land grant of the present day, things like the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction, they have a rural studio that serves about 5 counties in West Alabama. It's an underserved part of the state and the country for that matter. So our Auburn students will design a building from the ground up and then build that building. We've built over 200 structures over the last 30 years, and one initiative right now is the 20K home initiative. So building homes that are energy efficient and good design for less than $20,000. Another land grant of the day is our Cybersecurity Research Center. So we have partnerships with the FAA, FBI, NSA, Armed Forces. So it's all about keeping everyone safe and training our students to keep us safe as individuals and as a country, which is kind of a driving force right now just in the world in general. So if you're interested in cybersecurity, computer science, anything like that, Auburn is definitely a strong opportunity for you. I also mentioned we're often known for certain things, but I also want you to expect the unexpected, if you will. So here are some things that you may not know about Auburn. So for example, our fashion merchandising program, one of the best in the country, top 5 in the nation, #1 in the South. Our apparel design program is very similar. We've also got a culinary science program, one of the only ones at a 4-year institution, and a new building that's being built that will be a boutique hotel, as well as lots of other culinary-based things. We also have a new performing arts center that opened last year that had over 50 performances. So it's really a cultural center for performing arts in this community and in this part of the country, which is exciting. We also have relatively small class sizes. We got a lot of students on campus, but pretty small classes with the advent of new classroom buildings. And then the biggest picture on this slide is talking about our EAGLES program. That's an acronym for a program. It's a fully transitional program for students with learning disabilities who would not otherwise be able to get a college degree. So these are great for the students that they just graduated their first class. They're also great for our students that are wanting to be K through 12 special education teachers. So great opportunities. So lots more to talk about, but I'll save the rest of my time for the application process. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. But essentially, we're test flexible this year, meaning that if you have a test score that falls within these middle 50% ranges, I think it's a great option. If not, we don't have a preference, so you're welcome to submit either a graded writing assignment, an expanded resume, or an AP or IB score report instead. You can apply either through our website or through the Common App, and you'll also upload a copy of your transcript so that we can look at lots of different things like your core GPA, your cumulative GPA, and things like academic rigor as well. We've got lots of dates and deadlines too, super flexible in terms of when you can apply. Ultimately, we've got an upcoming one, October 15th. So if you have a complete file by that date, that's awesome. But I really want to emphasize December 1st as our priority deadline so that you could hear back from us in time to complete the scholarship application by February 1st. But the long and short of it is that we got lots of options, and I'm here to help you through the process. So I know I'm running out of time. Here's my contact information, but I'm happy to drop it in the chat a little bit later as well. So thank you so much, everybody, and I'll hand it over to the next institution.
Katie, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I will share the schedule one more time here and remind if there are any questions to use the Q&A button to ask a question of any of our representatives tonight. Next up, the University of South Carolina. Andrew, it shows that your mic is on, but I cannot hear you. Yeah, I'm not getting any audio. Why don't we do this? Why don't we skip ahead and then we'll come back, circle around and get you back in near the end of the session. If you want, if you click on the arrow next to your microphone icon, it'll give you an option to call in by phone if you're having issues with your computer audio. And so you can dial in and then the audio would come over the phone and you can still present. But we'll skip ahead now. I can do that. And we'll hear from South Carolina later. And right now we will head to Miami University. Not literally, of course. We'll just hear the presentation from Miami.
Yes, the other Miami in Ohio. Alrighty, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Great, alrighty. Well, welcome this evening. My name is Hannah Stone. I am the regional representative for Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. I work with all of our students in the southeast part of the US, so do have my contact information at the end of the presentation, so please make sure that you grab it if you have any additional questions about Miami. So just a little bit about who we are. We are a public mid-size institution located in the town of Oxford, Ohio, which is your typical college town, located in the southwest corner, about an hour outside of the greater Cincinnati area. So if you are looking for that college town experience, Miami can definitely check a lot of those boxes. We are on the larger end of that mid-sized institution range. We have a little over 17,000 students with us on campus. Although this year it is a little bit different with social distancing and whatnot. We do have an online hybrid option that some of our students are partaking in this semester due to COVID. But because we are on the larger end of that public mid-size scale, we are a little bit unique in that our average class size is about 30 students. We are also ranked among some of the top institutions for undergraduate teaching in the nation. This means that all of our classes are taught by professors on campus and that you are not competing with any of our graduate students on campus either. So campus resources are really dedicated to the undergraduate student experience with undergraduate student success. We have over 120 different majors, and we do encourage a lot of cross-campus collaboration. So no matter your area of major study, you do have the opportunity to take classes outside of your respective college as well. We are known as a public Ivy institution. This is a term that was developed in 1985 that essentially designated Miami, along with several other public institutions, as having an Ivy level education at a public school price. So we consistently appear in a number of top value surveys for colleges across the country. This is just because, again, we have small class sizes, all classes taught by professors, but we also offer a number of other values in terms of resources for our students. So right here. So just jumping into our accepted student profile, we are test optional for admission and merit for fall of 2021. So just to give you an idea of where our applicants are typically falling, I did include the middle 50% GPAs as well as ACT and SAT ranges to give you an idea of where our students are typically falling who apply and are admitted into Miami. A majority of our students are also coming from across the US as well as around the world. So we do have a very national draw on campus. This means that you're not surrounded by students every day who have only spent their lives up until this point in Ohio. You are meeting students from across the country as well as the world. This also really enhances our campus community because it means our students really are staying around campus on weekends to build that Miami experience. In terms of those value points I mentioned, we do offer guaranteed merit scholarships for our applicants who are meeting the criteria listed here. So if your GPA is falling within or above any of these ranges, then please go ahead and consider yourself competitive for all 4 years for these scholarship ranges. So once a scholarship's been awarded, it automatically applies until you graduate. This also ties in to our 4-year guaranteed tuition promise. This means that we actually lock in the cost of tuition for all 4 years for each of our incoming classes. We believe that college is a 4-year investment, both in time as well as money. So in terms of giving our families enough information up front, that really helps with that 4-year planning process. A large majority of our students do continue on with their Miami degrees with us. So we have about a 90% retention rate, which is absolutely huge. So this means that we are committed to helping you start your degree at Miami as well as helping you finish your degree. And just some small details there in terms of that tuition promise. And other outcomes. So Miami students are very much well prepared for that next step after graduation. We have some very competitive acceptance rates for law as well as medical school, but we also have some amazing placement rates with our graduates leaving after they graduate from campus. So we definitely will work with you to make sure that you are prepared for that next step, whether that is a graduate or higher level degree or going into your first career. And here is my contact information. So if you have any additional questions, please be sure to grab it. I would love to speak with you, answer any more questions about Miami and talk a little bit more in greater depth about our programs. So thank you and have a great night.
Hannah, thank you very much, and we appreciate it. We will keep moving forward here. And a reminder, just use the Q&A button if you have any questions for our presenters. Next up, we will hear from Virginia Tech.
Thank you so much. While I go ahead and get my presentation started, give me 1 second. Perfect. So welcome everybody. My name is Jasmine Montano Aguilar, and I'm one of the newest admissions counselors at Virginia Tech. And I have a pleasure of being here and just telling you a little bit more about the opportunities that Virginia Tech has to offer to you. So we are located in Blacksburg, Virginia, surrounded by the New River Valley, and as you can tell in that picture, surrounded by the beautiful mountains. Within here, we are considered a true college town. We were originally founded as an all-military male institution. However, we now are co-ed, and that military component is actually not a requirement for our students. If you are interested in becoming a cadet, you do have 2 tracks. So one of them is a military track, which gives you commitment to the military, and the other one is a citizen leader track, which you do everything within our cadets. You live that military lifestyle while you're at Virginia Tech. However, you earn these great skills, leadership, discipline, and you use them at your first job after graduating. A lot of our cadets go that route because they have scholarship opportunities available for them, and the statistics of graduating as a cadet from Virginia Tech are great when it comes to career searches. Something that you'll see at Virginia Tech that you might not see at other institutions is just saying through our motto, which is ut prosum, Latin for that I may serve. This looks different to many students, faculty, and staff, and this just simply means that we'd love to give back to our community. Our community here at Virginia Tech is big, and we call it the Hokie Nation. You'll find a Hokie anywhere you go with open arms to welcome you. Within these different opportunities, a lot of our students go through a program that's called Hokie Hiring Hokies. Basically what it is, it's other Hokies or alumni actually giving our current Hokies internship, co-op opportunities, or any other opportunities to further on their career. And initially, this is the biggest bulk of why our Virginia Tech students come here. Now, at Virginia Tech, we are considered a fairly large institution, having a little over 36,000 students altogether, with a student-faculty ratio of having 14:1. Now, usually depending on what school or college or major you go into, so that ratio might vary up to 18:1, 15:1, or the overall 14:1 as well. We do have around 9 colleges. We also have a School of Medicine and a College of Veterinary Medicine, which is one of a kind in Virginia. Within all of these colleges, some of our top majors are psychology, architecture, engineering, and within engineering, we have anything from aerospace engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and computer science and computer engineering, just to name a few. However, we are not only an engineering and architecture school. We do have majors within liberal arts. That could be anything from cinema, theater art, or any foreign language. If you're looking to go into the FBI, we have anything from political science all the way up to foreign affairs. So there really is a little bit of everything for all students that are interested in Virginia Tech. Now, how to apply. This year specifically, we do have 2 ways of applying. One of them is through the coalition application, and the other one is through the common application. The only thing that you have to make sure is that you complete one of them by the deadlines, which I'll go over in a little bit. And as long as you submit it by the deadline, it does not matter which one you choose. Just choose the one that is easiest for you. Now, within our application process, we do a holistic. That means that we don't have a minimum GPA, no minimum SAT or ACT to apply to Virginia Tech. We do not ask for an official transcript or official test scores. On the other hand, we do ask for self-reported transcripts and self-reported test scores. This year, specifically for the seniors that are here, you will be able to go test optional, meaning if you haven't taken a test or you just don't feel comfortable taking or submitting your test, then you don't have to submit it and it won't hurt you in any way. If let's say that you do have an SAT test score or an ACT test score and you want to submit it, you definitely can, and we will take that into account. What we look within the transcript is just looking at your rigor. So have you taken APs, IBs, or dual enrollment, and have you been successful in them? And then lastly, we don't ask for letters of recommendation, and we also do not look at resumes. However, do not confuse that by not adding any extracurricular activities that you've done. We want to know who you are outside of the classroom. The second portion of a holistic review for us is a personal side. You will fill out 4 OOP Prosum essay questions. Those are supplemental questions. You actually do not have to submit a common application essay or a coalition essay. These are the only 4 that you have to worry about. And they're really short answers. They give you 120 words of limit to answer all these 4 questions individually. Some of the deadlines that you want to focus on is the early decision, which is a binding contract stating that you will come to Virginia Tech if you get accepted. And that means that you have to apply no later than November 1st. Early action is a priority deadline, which I encourage all students that are interested in Virginia Tech to apply by early action, because that is the best opportunity you'll get. And lastly, regular decision is space availability. Major does matter when it comes to applying to Virginia Tech. And when this comes, that means that you are choosing the major that you're going into. So regular decision is not a deadline that we usually advertise, but it is there in case you need it. We do offer scholarships and financial aid. We do have a separate general scholarship application deadline, which is January 22nd, and you also have to submit your FAFSA application. If you're an out-of-state student, in-state student, any type of student looking for merit-based scholarships, you do have to fill out your scholarship application. And lastly, why Virginia Tech? We do have a great graduation rate, and the one I like you to focus on at the end is our over 90% retention rate. Students are really happy here at Virginia Tech. So if you want to know more about Virginia Tech, just let me know, and you can definitely contact me. Thank you.
Helps if I unmute myself. Thank you very much. And we will continue now. Remember that we will catch up with South Carolina here at the end of our session. Next up, we'll hear from the University of Southern Mississippi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight. Let me go ahead and pull up my presentation. All right, so we are the University of Southern Mississippi, and we're located in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which is a small college town in Hattiesburg, about 4 hours away from Memphis, just to kind of give you some geographic locations. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit more about Southern Miss. So Southern Miss was founded in 1910 as a small women's teachers college, and since then we have expanded with 15,000 students and counting, and so we actually have 2 branches of our campus. Our main campus is in Hattiesburg, and then we have a second campus located in Long Beach, Mississippi. We have over 140 academic degree programs from students to choose from. So we have anything from biological sciences to education and pre-law classes as well. We have classroom sizes to about 22 to 25 student and 17-to-1 faculty ratio. So you're getting those smaller classroom sizes, probably what you're used to in a high school setting as well. Here's some academic points of pride, things that Southern Miss is recognized for. We're one of the nation's leading research institutions. We are among 1% of universities worldwide accredited in both business and accounting. We're among 140 public institutions accredited in all 4 areas of the arts. And our nursing program is one of the top ones in the state of Mississippi, and we have one of the biggest STEM labs as well, but we do have a 100% post-graduation employment rate as well. And then we're ranked 13th in the nation to produce the most certified teachers as well. Here's how you can get involved here on Southern Miss's campus. So we have really over 220 student organizations to get involved in as part of your Southern Miss's experience as well. And if we don't have something that you're looking for, you can always create your own organization as well. We have study abroad opportunities, which is a really special part of your Southern Miss's experience as well. And so in over 20 countries as well. And we have some really cool traditions. One of my favorites is the painting of the Eagle Walk, which is located right under our football stadium. And we incoming students have a fun time getting covered in gold paint and are able to paint it as well. Here's our how to apply as well to Southern Miss. We have 4 easy steps. There's an online application that takes about 10 minutes to fill out. There's a $40 application fee. You'll submit your official high school transcript along with your ACT and SAT scores. And that link provided at the bottom is will direct you towards the application. Here's our automatic academic excellence scholarships. So students that are incoming from out of state as well, if you have a 21 on your ACT with a 3.0 core GPA, you can receive up to $2,500 annually. And if you receive between a 26 and a 27, you'll get half off of tuition. And if you have a 30 or above, you'll receive full value of tuition. Here's a really special thing towards Southern Miss. It's our Golden Opportunities website. It's our scholarship website as well. So we have a streamlined application that once you're admitted, you'll have access to this website. You'll fill out a general application, and once you submit that application, you are matched to over 900 types of scholarships located on that website. It's all located in one area for students to fill out. We have competitive scholarships as well. Our honors college is one of the most recognized ones in the state of Mississippi as well. So we have visit opportunities for students to come tour our campus. So we have 2 types of tours. We have a Discover Southern Miss tour, which is your basic tour of the university. And we have academic sessions where you can actually speak to someone in your academic college to go over class schedules and what future goals you might have about future job opportunities. With that Discover Southern Miss tour, we have Saturday options as well to work around your busy schedules. Here's some important deadlines. So we just passed the October 1st deadline for the FAFSA application opening and our housing application as well. December 1st is the admissions deadline for automatic deadline scholarships as well. January 15th is the competitive programming deadline. February 15th is the priority deadline to apply for campus housing. And May 1st is the deadline to accept any scholarships awarded to you in the GO system and to sign up for orientation as well. And here's my contact information. Reach out to me. I'm your go-to person for anything Southern Miss related. We can set up a virtual visit and hopefully maybe we can meet in person during a tour. But that is it for the for Southern Miss's presentation.
Thank you very much, and want to remind everyone the order of what we have coming up. So right now we will hear from a representative from Faulkner University.
There we go. Right. Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Randolph. I am a representative for the state of Tennessee for Faulkner University. Faulkner University is a small Christian university. As you can see, we were founded in 1942 as Montgomery Bible School and became Faulkner University in 1985. So we've only been around about 35 years as a four-year institution. So we're relatively young compared to the other institutions here on the panel tonight. But as I said, we're small, with emphasis on small Christian university, as we'll look at later, our population. But we feel like this is a positive. We feel like Faulkner University offers a very unique experience. I say that basically based on two factors. First, as I mentioned earlier, our size. We're small. We see this, of course, as a positive for the social life, for your academic studies. We believe that Faulkner is a place where the instructors, for the professors, are going to get to know you. You're going to get to know them on a much more personal level. I would say a word that describes Faulkner would be care. To the faculty, coaches, administrators, all care about what happens to the student. So I think the size is really a positive. Also, the second factor is that we're a Christian university. This means everything from sports, from our coaches, administrators, professors as well. Everything is taught and done from a Christian worldview. If you're learning business, if you have a legal studies class, studying physical therapy or English, no matter what you study, everything is going to be from a biblical perspective. Faulkner University is located in Montgomery, Alabama, which is the capital city of Alabama. And we are located in the south central part of the state. And in reference to you in West Tennessee, we are about 5 to 5.5 hours away from any city in Western Tennessee. And a few other attractions or notable landmarks that are close to Montgomery. We were about a 2-hour drive from the Appalachian Trail, which is in North Alabama. We're about a 3-hour drive from Gulf Shores Beach, which is the coast of Alabama. About a 3.5-hour drive from the coast of Florida. We're about a 30-minute drive from both Lake Martin and Lake Jordan, and about a 2.5-hour drive from Atlanta. Now, I mentioned our size earlier. We have about 3,500 students total, including our satellite campuses, which are in Huntsville, Birmingham, and Mobile, Alabama. We have about 21 undergraduate students and about 750 graduate students. We have between 800 and 900 students living on campus with a student population that represents 40 states and 38 countries. We have 45 undergraduate degrees, which are concentrated into 30 majors and basically 15 broad fields of study. We have 4 degree programs with 100% job placement after graduation. Those are criminal justice, computer science, counseling, and education. Now, this is our newly purchased College of Health Sciences here at Faulkner. We are really excited about the future as far as the College of Health Sciences here. We have started this year 2 programs, a master's degree program in speech and language pathology, as well as a physician's assistant master's degree. Next year, in the fall of 2021, we will begin a doctoral program in physical therapy, and in the fall of 22, a doctoral program in occupational therapy. As part of the College of Health Sciences, our speech and language pathology program, we have a clinic that is free to residents of Montgomery that is staffed by all speech and language pathology students here in Montgomery. We also here at Faulkner have a law school, the Jones School of Law, which is one of 3 accredited law schools in the state of Alabama. Sports here at Faulkner University, we compete at the NAIA level with men's sports and 5 sports in baseball, basketball, football, golf, and soccer, and women's sports, basketball, golf, soccer, softball, and volleyball, with 2 non-championship sports, bass fishing club and cheerleading. The social life here on campus at Faulkner, it basically revolves around our 4 social clubs, 4 men's clubs and 4 ladies clubs, which are brother and sister clubs, which compete in sports, and at the end of a spring semester, compete with a musical production, which we call Jamboree. Now, we are one of the few schools that are not test optional. That could change sometime in the near future, but as of right now, we're not test optional. We require a score of 18 on the ACT for unconditional acceptance. As you can see, our awards for academics with a score of 18 or 19, there's a $6,000 per year scholarship. Score of 20 to 22, we offer a $8,000 scholarship per year. For 23 to 26, the amount is $9,000 per year. For 27 to 29, we offer a $10,000 per year scholarship. And with a score of 30 or higher, $12,000 and even possibly higher. This is my contact information and would be glad to talk with you about any opportunities that you would like at Faulkner. Thank you for your time. Hope you have a great night.
All right, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully y'all can hear me this time around. Let's see. Thanks for that. All righty. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here tonight to tell you a little bit about the University of South Carolina. One of the first things I'll do here is talk about the university geographical setting. So we are in the city of Columbia, which is the state capital of South Carolina. One of the great things about our campus setting is that you kind of get the best of both worlds. You know, being an urban campus, a lot of times students will think like, oh, the campus is probably not that pretty. That's really not the case here at South Carolina. The university was founded in 1801, so we are the flagship institution in South Carolina. And the city of Columbia was really built around the campus. So you do get that traditional college campus. We have a lot of beautiful areas throughout the campus. We have the main area of campus, which is my favorite part, which is called the Horseshoe. That's where you're going to be going to and from classes. That's where a lot of our historic buildings are located. That's where a lot of our residence halls are as well. It's got kind of that big green grassy area with some beautiful, huge oak trees out there. So it's a really great location. And then also the city of Columbia itself is a great location geographically. You're about an hour and a half from the beach. So if you want to drive down to the beach on a weekend trip, that's definitely something a lot of students do. You're also about an hour and a half from Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you really want to go check out a big city, maybe catch an NFL game, something like that, you have the opportunity to do that as well on a weekend trip. And then you're about an hour and a half from the mountains. So if you're more into, you know, outdoor activities, there's a lot of great hikes and trails that are available to you as well. And then also in the city of Columbia itself, there's plenty of businesses, restaurants, and outdoor activities with the Congaree National Park, which has a big old river that goes through the city. A lot of students will go kayaking and tubing there as well. And there's some, you know, great restaurants and businesses to take advantage of throughout the week. All right, so something about South Carolina that I do think that kind of sets us apart. We do put a huge emphasis on academics as a university. We want you to have a great experience as far as all the social aspects that college provides you, and we definitely have that, being a large institution. We have right around 27,000 undergraduate students and a total of about 34,000 grad and undergrad students. So we have plenty of things to do, plenty of people there, and we have a large, diverse student population. But we want to make sure that you come to South Carolina and you leave prepared. So we have 56 different nationally ranked programs for you to choose from and over 300 different major degree options. So it'd be really hard for you to not find something that you can do at South Carolina. We are a Tier 1 research institution. So one of the things you'll notice is that you'll hear students and professors talk a lot about research. We have research going on in every single discipline that's offered. And all it takes is just mentioning to your professor that you're interested in participating. And it's as simple as that. And it's a great way for you to gain experience and also to have future success with job opportunities and things like that. Also at South Carolina, we do put a big emphasis on students getting experience beyond the classroom. So, whether that's through an internship or study abroad programs, undergraduate research, like I already mentioned, leadership, service, we really want to make sure that you're not only doing everything that you need to do here on our campus, but we want to make sure that you're going to be a leader in the community and beyond whenever you leave South Carolina. We do have a really fantastic career center that gets students connected with a lot of these opportunities. Also, we have a fantastic honors college program, which has been one of the highest ranked public university honors colleges since 2012. And we really want you to be able to take advantage of some of the opportunities they provide students. And I encourage you to kind of look into the further details of applying to the Honors College. All right, one thing I did want to spend a little bit of time on covering is our test optional policy. We did move to test optional for this upcoming year. So if you haven't started an application, you may not know some of these things. Basically, the way it works, you have two different applications to choose from. You can apply to our early action, which is a non-binding application, or you can apply to our regular decision application. We do not have a preference on which option you choose, and it's not more beneficial for you to apply to one versus the other. The only caveat to that is if you are interested in our honors college, then we do recommend you apply to the early action application simply because it gives you enough time to complete that application, then also complete the application for the honors college. Once you submit your application, there's going to be 3 options for you to choose from. You can do whatever combination of these supplemental materials that you can submit. You can submit test scores. We do super score both the SAT and the ACT. If you do not have scores that you can submit, you also have the option to submit exam scores from AP, IB, or Cambridge. And then also the third option is going to be submitting a graded writing assignment from 11th and 12th grade year. That's, again, another option you can kind of choose from. You can choose all 3, just 1, or 2, whichever you feel like is going to make your application the strongest whenever you're applying. And then this is just a breakdown of some of our deadlines. We do have the early action application deadline that is coming up in October 15th. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep that in mind. So if you are thinking about applying early action, that deadline is next Wednesday. So make sure that you keep on top of that. If you've already submitted an application in early action, then the credentials deadline is going to be November 2nd. And then also there's a couple of deadlines to keep in mind for our honors college. And then one other thing to note is if you are applying to our regular decision application, our credentials deadline is February 1st. We do not have an actual application for scholarships, so you're going to be automatically considered for scholarships whenever you're applying to the university. So you do not have to worry about doing a separate application. And we are going to be test optional for all of those areas. So I guess I should have mentioned that earlier, but basically the way it's going to work is, traditionally we'd require test scores for our general application, for our honors college application, and also to be considered for merit-based scholarships. That has all changed for this year. Students will be reviewed holistically for all of those options. And that's what I have for you today. If you have additional questions about South Carolina, you want to reach out to me individually, feel free to do so. I'd be happy to meet with you to kind of go over more specifics of our programs and also to kind of talk to you about the application process. So I appreciate everybody allowing me to speak to you tonight, and thanks again for being here.
Well, evidently my video is having a little bit of trouble, but I want to thank everyone for their patience as I had some issues getting connected back in. But thank you for being here tonight and for taking care of all the presentations and making sure that we were getting all of the presentations finished as I get through here and try to get back to where I can actually share my screen. So I had the wrong thing set up here. There we are. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I want to thank again the presenters for all the great info and for getting everything taken care of. When you close this window, there's a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. This is just one of many sessions being hosted. Be sure to sign up for additional sessions. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings available the same place you signed up for this session tonight. Thank you again to all of the presenters, and thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.